Hey, sixth graders. This is lesson 1, day 4, the last day of this first lesson, and it's still on ratios. So today's lesson is all on independent practice. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be working on 1 through 6 on these pages, 8 and 9, and you're going to do them on your own. Now keep in mind, when you're done with this, you are going to be taking a quiz, which is kind of similar to these 6 questions. So just so you know, 1, 2, and 3 on this page are multiple choice. So make sure you read them over, take your time on it. And then 4 is multiple choice. 5 is a short answer. You just have to answer the question. But 6 is going to ask you to answer a question and explain why. And it's going to require a couple sentences. So make sure when you're doing 6, you write it as a couple sentences and put some time and effort into it. So your job is do 1 through 6 completely on your own. Pause the video while you're doing it. When you are done with 1 through 6, then you're going to watch the video and I'm going to go through the answers and you get to correct any mistakes and learn from them. And hopefully think about them because you want to learn from them before your quiz. All right, pause the video, get started, restart it when you're done. Go. All right, so how'd you do? Let's see if you think you would have done well if this was the quiz. Number 1 says, Percy's Pizza Parlor sells 3 sizes of pizzas. What is the ratio of the diameter of the large pizza to the diameter of the medium pizza? So remember, the trick for these is when it asks you to find a ratio, underline the ratio words. What is the ratio of the diameter of the large pizza? That's got to be our first number. 2, put a box around the 2, the diameter of the medium pizza. So the first thing asks us for the diameter of the large pizza, which is 17. 2. And the second thing it asks us is the diameter of the medium pizza, which is 14. So for this one, you should have had 17 to 14C. If you had A, you wrote them in the wrong order, just so you know. All right, give yourself a C if you had it right, like a big fat C just like that, or an X if you had it wrong, and that's just for you, just so you can learn from your mistake. All right, number 2. Rita reads 3 times as many fiction books as nonfiction books. What is the ratio of fiction books to total books? Okay, so if she reads 3 times as many fiction books as nonfiction books, that means for every 3 fiction books she reads 1 nonfiction book, right? So it wants to know what is the ratio of fiction books to total books. So I'm going to underline that. The ratio of fiction books to total books. So it says she reads 3 times as many fiction books. So that would be 3, right? Now to total books. Now remember, for total, you have to add up the 3 fiction books she reads with the 1 nonfiction book she reads. So your ratio should be 3 to 4, which is B. All right, that one's tricky because you had to know to put a 1 there. So if you had that one wrong, just learn from that one. Number 3 says the ratio of girls to boys in a student basketball league is 5 to 6. Choose true or false for each statement. All right, so this one's going to require a little more thinking. So the ratio of girls to boys is 5 to 6. So that means for every 5 girls, oops, I wrote kind of a T there. For every 5 girls, there are 6 boys. So I'm just writing that down to make it more visible. So A says for every 5 girls in a league, there are 6 boys. Well, true, I just said that. Okay. For B, it says for every 6 girls in a league, there are 5 boys. Well, that can't be true because it says there's 5 girls, not 6 girls. So that one is false. For C, there are exactly 11 students in the league. Now, this one tricks a lot of people because they think, oh, if you just add up 5 and 6, you'd get 11, which must be true. But no, there could be 11 students in the league. But remember, 5 to 6 means maybe there are 5 more girls and 6 more boys on another team. Well, that would add up to 22. Maybe there are 5 more girls and 6 more boys on another team. Okay? That would add up to 33. So the ratio, we don't know that the key word is exactly. That's why this one is wrong. Because there could be more than 11, right? That could just be one team. Now, D says the ratio of girls to total students in the league is 5 to 11. Well, this one, I guess I'm just going to have to figure out a little bit here. So it says girls to total students. So I know for girls, there are 5. 2 total students. Well, I have to add up the 5 and the 6 to get 11. So 5 to 11, that's exactly what they said. So that one is true. So did you have true, false, false, true? If you did, you made it through a pretty tricky question. All right, so let's go on to the next page. In 4, of the 15 children at the park, 12 children are riding bicycles and 3 are riding scooters. Which ratio is correct? Circle all that apply. Ooh, did you see that? There can be more than one answer here. All right, so to help me think through this one, I'm actually going to kind of draw some kind of pictures or maybe make a tape diagram. So of the 15 children at the park, 12 are riding bicycles. So I'm just going to do 12 rectangles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to put a B in each one for bicycles. All right, and 3 children are riding scooters. And notice it says of the 15 children, so that 15 children would be the total if you add up those children riding bicycles and scooters. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to circle each one that's true. So A says the ratio of bicycles to scooters is 12 to 3. So bicycles to scooters. Well, there are 12 bicycles to 3 scooters. So A is correct. B says the ratio of scooters to bicycles is 3 to 15. Okay, well, there are 3 scooters. I agree. But there are not, ratio of scooters to children. Did I just say bicycles? I'm sorry. Children would be the total children who are riding bicycles and scooters. So 12 plus 3 is 15. So I agree with B. C, the ratio of bicycles to children is 12 to 15. Well, there are 12 bicycles and there are 15 children. So I agree with C. D, the ratio of scooters to children is 9 to 12. Well, isn't that kind of go against what B says? B says the ratio of scooters to children is 3 to 15. D says the ratio of scooters to children is 9 to 12. So that can't be correct. No. It is not D. And E says the ratio of bicycles to children is 12 to 3. So 12 bicycles, there are 12 bicycles. Are there 3 children? No, there are 15 children. So it cannot be E. So the correct answers are A, B, and C. Remember, you can pause the video at any time to learn from some of your mistakes. All right, number 5. Haley buys 8 apples for $3, 3 bananas for $1. Okay, so this one they're throwing in some extra numbers to try to confuse me. What is the ratio of the number of pieces of fruit she buys to the total dollar she spends? Ooh, so the number of pieces of fruit she buys, that has to be my first number, to the total dollar she spends. Write the answer in at least 2 different ways. All right, so for the first thing, the number of pieces of fruit she buys, we have to add up the pieces of fruit. Now remember, I'm going to switch this to purple. She buys 8 apples, and she buys 3 bananas, which together is 11 pieces of fruit. So the first number should be 11. Now, to the total dollar she spends. So I'm going to switch to, let me find a different color here. I'm getting sick of my colors. I'm going to switch to a nice shade of green. All right, so the apples were $3 and the bananas were $1. So the total she spent was $4. So it should be 11 to 4. Now remember, it says write the answer in at least 2 different ways. So you need at least 2 different ways. Maybe 11 to 4, maybe 11 to 4. I'm going to add it the third way, like a fraction. And you could even say 11 pieces of fruit for every $4. If you wanted to write down a phrase, that would be fine. All right, last one, number 6. In a talent show, 6 students plan to sing, 7 students plan to dance, and 2 students plan to tell jokes. Rick said that the ratio of singers to joke tellers is 6 to 2. Leah said that the ratio of joke tellers to singers is 1 to 3. Who is correct? Explain why. So let's talk about this one first. Let's see what Rick says. So Rick, he says that the singers to joke tellers, singers to joke tellers. All right, so there are 6 students who plan to sing and joke tellers. Let me see, there are 2 students who plan to tell jokes. Okay, so that's what Rick said, isn't it? Rick says that the ratio of singers to joke tellers is 6 to 2. So I think Rick is correct. Let's check out what Leah said. She said that the ratio of joke tellers to singers is 1 to 3. All right, so let's look at this one. So at first you're thinking, well, it's 1 and 3. It can't be right. So Leah, she said that the ratio of joke tellers to singers. So here's joke tellers. The number of joke tellers was 2. To the number of singers is 6. So you're looking at that, you're saying, well, no, Leah must be wrong because it's 2 to 6. But here is the thing. Leah's saying it's 1 to 3, right? So imagine there's one joke teller. I'm going to put a J for joke to 3 singers. 1, 2, 3. Now remember, ratios means for every one joke teller, there are 3 singers. So if I add another joke teller, I have to add 3 more singers. Right? Notice that would get me 2 to 6. So guess what? And did I just write leak and not Leah? Oh my gosh. It's early in the morning and it's still summer vacation. All right. So guess what? Rick and Leah are both correct, but they were trying to trick you with Leah's. So I'm wondering, I bet a lot of you guys got tricked on that one. So what I'm going to do, it says, who is correct? Explain why. So first, I'm going to answer the question, who is correct? So I'm going to say both Rick and Leah were correct. So for Rick, his was kind of the easy one. So for Rick, remember, he said there were singers to joke tellers of 6 to 2. There were 6 singers to 2 jokers. Okay. But for Leah, here's what was different about hers. Remember, Leah said 1 to 3, which is correct. That's just a reduced ratio. You can reduce it. If you can imagine the fraction 2/6, divide by 2, you get the fraction 1/3. These are called equivalent ratios. So Leah was correct because 1 to 3 is just a reduced ratio and is the same as 2 to 6. Okay, so now remember, if you had that in your own words, that's fine. But if you had it wrong, I want you to take some time and write it in your own words and just think about it and know that this is the same as this, just reduced. Okay? All right, so you are officially done with me for now, and I hope this helped. And remember, you got a quiz coming up. Thanks, guys.